Glow is actually the first film I've made with a team. Before, I made films basically myself. I didn't limit myself this time, setting it around things that are easy to animate. We have a lot of animals, we have a lot of water, which is in animation one of the hardest things to do. So we did have people who are much better at everything than me, but I needed to understand the basics so I could communicate these ideas. And even though I had the script, I still would kind of improvise a lot. I see it as one big thing that I do all at the same time. I need that process of discovery so I can try different things. I would just create these sets in 3D and take a virtual camera and almost like a live action location scout. And I discover ideas and I can place the camera, but I can still adjust the set. So I do that instead of drawing storyboards. CG animation gives me very complicated camera moves, which would be impossible to do in live action. Having these long takes creates that sense of real time, that you're experiencing the story with the characters. And all the films I've also done have no dialogue, so I'm kind of really attracted to telling stories visually and also using sounds and music in ways that can only be achieved in cinema. It was almost like a casting process where I was looking at different animals and considering how they might interact. It was important that they are distinct both visually in terms of the silhouette but also in terms of the voices. But I didn't want any of them to be antagonists. I wanted each of them to be relatable. All of these characters were kind of chosen thinking about that theme, which is kind of looking for a group where you belong. We used real animal voices. It's not humans mimicking animals. The only animal where we did take some artistic liberties is the capybara, because the voice was so high-pitched, kind of unpleasant. And this character is very calm and kind of peaceful, and we needed something deeper, so the capybara is voiced by a baby camel. Because there's no dialogue, we have to use their body language, their behavior to kind of express these things. And in terms of the movements, all credit goes to our animators. Our approach I would describe as naturalism rather than realism. So we are studying real life. Everything is really animated by hand. So it's all these artists who studied animals and interpreted their movement. My approach was to have somewhat more detail in the environments, in the background, so you have that immersive feeling. But the characters are somewhat more stylized. I think it makes them more appealing. In animation, you can do pretty much everything you want, but that's also can be difficult when you have infinite possibilities. But I kind of like having freedom and being able to tell kind of personal stories in very unconventional and bold ways.